This is Sai Kumar Kortiwada. In this video, we will learn about setValue method over a form group when we have a form controls inside the form group. To know about form controls, form groups and form group validation, form control validation, please watch my previous video in the same tutorial. And let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code. To achieve this setValue method, what I want to do is I want to create a form group. Let me create a form group, something like reset form group, something like this, and I have a form group type, and here we can create a constructor, and inside the constructor let me define this reset form group is equal to, let me create a new form group, and here inside this form group let me define our values. So for example, I have something like a username, and this is something like a form control. So I want to create a form control with empty, and also let me give a password, and this is something like new form control, and here I give empty. And now what I want to do is I want to create a HTML content with this username and the password by using a form tag. So inside the form tag, let me create a input field and with a placeholder as username, and then I'm giving a break statement, and also let me define an input field with one more placeholder like password. Save this. And now what I want to do is I want to break and break. So here I gave a username and the password. So what I want to do is I want to get the data from the some set of JSON, and I want to embed into these particular values. For that sake, let me give a form control name that is equivalent to our username, and let me give the same form control name for the password, something like password. And also I have a form group directive, that is form group is equivalent to my reset form group. So let me use this reset form group and paste here. Let me save this. And now what I want to do is I want to create a button, and I want to use this button as reset, and whenever the user clicks on this reset, I want to call a function, something like a method. So reset form, this is my method, and let me copy this method and go here, paste here. And here what I want to do is whenever the user clicks on this reset form, I want to eliminate my previous username value and also a password value, and then I want to introduce a default value. So let me give the default value. So create a default form values, and that will be equivalent to your username, the same key as a form control, and let me give sai@gmail.com, and also let me give a password with 1234567 8. So this is my password. So whenever the user clicks on the reset form, whatever the value entered before clicking this particular reset form, we have to override that particular username and the password with the default form values. For that sake, we can do two things. One is this dot reset form group dot get of what is my value. I can access my username by using a get method, and then value equal to, I want to give some value sample 123. But in this case you will be having an error. Why? Because a value is a read-only property. That means whenever you want to get the value from a form group, you can use that dot value, but whenever you want to assign it, you cannot use dot value property. In this case, we can use a method called as this dot form group dot set value. There is a method called as set value which will accept an object like default form values. So I have this default form values already defined here. Now this particular username will engage with this form control and will update this form group. This form group, what it will do is it will change the values in this particular form control as they have the two-way data binding by using this form control name. Let me save this, and now we don't see any errors. Let me go back, and now let me reload, and also let me zoom it. Now when the user clicks on the reset password, you can see sai@gmail.com and 1234567 which is a form control value, which are the default values for our application. Let me reload this and let me enter msaikumar@gmail.com, but I want to give a password like something in this way. But what I want to do is I don't want to use the same values. Instead, I want to go with the default values. Let me click on reset and the default values has been changed. So in this way, we can use a set value, but there is one rule which we need to remember whenever we are using a set value. For example, I am not passing this password. I want to reset only the username. Let me save this and go back here. Whenever I click on the inspect and go to the console, let me try to use some kumar@gmail.com and I have some values, something like this. Whenever I click the reset button, this Gmail should be overridden and this password should be same as it is. But what is the problem with the set value? When you click here, must supply a value for the form control with the name password. That means a set value is expecting all the form controls which are inside my form group. That means it is having a password as well. So it is expecting a password also. So for example, now we are passing only the username. Just revert this and save this. So let me go here, reload and give sai@gmail.com or 12341234567. So I gave here 1234567. Let me click on the reset. Now all the values has been changed and there is no error. Now what we understood by using a set value. Set value is a method which will accept an object where the object should contain all the keys as it is as your form group keys. That means each and every form control name should be equivalent to your default value key. And also if you see here, username is equivalent to username and the password is equal to password. And if you change 123, then here also we'll be getting an error. Why? Because the password is not matching with password 123 or any of the properties inside this default form values. Let me go back, clear it off and reload, give the reset. Must supply a value for the form control with the name password. That means it is expecting your password as well. And let me give some password as one more key and let me give password update and save this. Let me pass this object. In this case, I have password and the username, but not password 123. Let me go back, clear it off and click on reset. If you see here, can't find the form control name password 123. That means vice versa. Whenever we have a username and the password, only that particular form control keys should be there in this object whatever we are passing. If not, it will throw error. If both the controls exist, it will not throw any error. If extra control exists, it will throw error. If any less controls exist, it will throw error. That is, a set value method is a strictly checking form controls method. That means it will always check the form control name and the key of the object which we are passing. So in this case, this is the only valid case where we can pass and click on the reset. Then you got password update and sai@gmail.com because I have changed the value to password update. So this is how we will be using a set value, and the whatever the rules we have in the set value that can be bypassed by using a patch value. We will discuss about the patch value in the upcoming videos. Hope you guys like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.